Good morning. How are you doing today? Can you hear me? Okay, take it off of mute there and I'll introduce ourselves.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Well, let me do a little preliminaries. Okay, my name is Steve Prater. I'm the chairman today for the Committee on Parole, which is in Baton Rouge at headquarters of DOC. That's where we are today. We're convening this Committee on Parole at 9:04 in the morning on July the 24th. So we're convening our meeting now. To my left, my fellow board members, to my left is Chuck Tillis, to my right is Carolyn Staples. The staff in here, would you introduce yourself, please?
Parole Williams.
Okay, that's the staff that's present and accounted for here in Baton Rouge. You were at CATAHOULA Correctional Center, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, would the staff at CATAHOULA please introduce yourself?
My name is Lieutenant Kathy Townsend.
Okay, Lieutenant, are you the only one in there from CATAHOULA?
Sir?
Are you the only staff member there?
No, sir. I'm
Is
the
there-
one that does the Zoom courts, but I mean,
Right, but nobody else is in the room with you.
no, sir, just me.
All right, thank you for hosting us, Lieutenant. We appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna say your name, but it may not be right. Ribon?
Yes, Ribon.
Ribon, okay. Would you tell us what your DOC number is?
It's 792-625.
Okay, thank you, sir. We appreciate that. For what you're here because you have requested a parole hearing. You want to be out early from the charge or from the sentence that you currently have. And so what we're going to do is we're going to give you an opportunity to tell us why you're there, what you've done since you've been there, and why you feel like you should be released on parole. Then we're going to ask the lieutenant to tell us about your demeanor and attitude and disciplinary record while you're there. And then we're going to go into we have a number of supporters that are going to be on Zoom. We have one person here that's going to speak, Mr. Jonathan Pirot. He's here at headquarters. He's going to speak. And then we've got some that will be listening on Zoom. Two of them will speak. Then we'll go into the opposition. And at this point, we don't have anybody that's going to speak in opposition. Then we're going to turn it over to Ms. Stapleton, who has this hearing. She's going to ask you some questions, and we'll make a vote. Pretty simple. It takes longer to explain it than it does actually the procedure. So anyway, this is your day. This is your request. So we're going to give you a chance to tell us why you feel like you're worthy of getting out and why you're there.
Okay. Well, first, good morning, members of the Parole Board. My name is Javier Ribon. I'm 39 years old, and I really appreciate the opportunity to appear before you today to request parole. I take responsibility for the circumstances that put me in this chair today. I was accused of indecent behavior, and I apologize to the victim in this case, if there is any. I have served more than 2.5 years already in prison with no write-ups, no fights, no drugs. I'm a man of deep faith. My father left my mother before I was born, and because of our deep poverty, I had to work hard almost all my childhood. But I wanted to give better opportunities to my siblings and a better life to my mother and grandparents. So I came to the United States trying to pursue those dreams by working hard almost every day from 7 a.m. to sunset and resting on Saturdays. So I could attend to church where I was a very active member and elder for many years. So I can say that I always wanted to do is provide for my family, improve myself, and help others. In prison, I have had no access to any programs yet, classes or services that will help me to improve, or at least not in my current facility yet. But I'm anxious to show you, also to show my family, my friends, and the world that I can confidently, with God's help, fulfill the requirements of my parole if it's granted to me. I will not commit any crimes. I'm a very responsible and reliable person. I have a plan. I also have a strong support from my family, my friends, and community. I have also offers of employment, and I have also a place to stay. And also, of course, I have my wife and a loving family that need me and support me. And I love them and need them too. In fact, I should mention that two of my stepchildren still need my help and financial support. And for that, my wife, who is on the screen right now, she has been working too many hours, driving from 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. and sometimes to 11 p.m. And just taking a little break around 2 to come home to eat and take care of the house and then go back to work. And I'm asking just for the opportunity to pick up the remainings of my family's life so I can put them together, because I still got the dream of being there for them and to succeed in life, and also to provide for my mother and my grandmother, who both are widows at this point. If all of this requires my deportation, I also make the commitment of never coming back to the United States. And I even though my wife and children, they're American citizens, I will in fact bring them with me if necessary. But if I'm allowed to stay, I will use this bitter experience I'm having in prison to teach and encourage others to respect the law and to respect others, so they don't have to come to prison and learn it the hard way. I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you for your time, and God bless you. God bless your families.
Okay. We'll move into folks that we'll move. Let's talk to the Lieutenant first. Lieutenant, do you have anything to tell us about?
Lieutenant, she left.
She left, huh? Well, we'll give her that's okay. We'll give her an opportunity in a few minutes. Let's move on to the supporters. Let's talk to your stepdaughter.
Yes.
Who I don't have a name here. She's with your wife. Would she talk to us first and introduce yourself?
Good morning. My name is, can you guys hear me? My name is Adelina Villatoro. I am the stepdaughter of Javier Ribon Bautista. And this morning, my mom wanted to speak on his behalf, but I asked for the opportunity to speak for our family. I am here today to speak about the man that my dad is. From the moment Javier came into my life, I learned the true definition of hope. He never tried to replace my biological father, or who is not present in my life currently, but instead he came with love, compassion, humility, and he not only showed up with words, but through consistent actions. He has been present in my life for about 10 to 11 years. And he came in as a person who would change my life and my family's life for the better. And he's a godly man, and I am a witness of his, whenever he served at church. He was the one who actually introduced us to Christianity. And through him, we were able to learn what love is, kindness is, and patience. And although we are not related by blood, Javier has been the father figure that I've never had in my life. And by that, he has truly earned that title in my life. He has been a provider for me since day one, and my family needs him now more than ever. And today, I truly hope that you can see the man that I've had the privilege to have met, and the loving father that he has been for me and for my brother as well. My mom wanted to share a message, and she says that if Javier is released, he has a stable home with us and a job waiting for him. I have stood by his side, and I need him back with our family so we can continue raising our children together and remain the strong, united family we have built together. Thank you.
Okay. All right, we appreciate any comments about that? Where you say you got a home, where was that home going to be?
Yes, I had to move to, I'm sorry, my name is Sully Ribon. I'm Javier's wife. And because of my health, I had to move to Texas. I live in Houston, Texas now, and we have a home where if he's able to be released, he's gonna come with us and live with us.
Okay, if he's got a deportation order, if he's here illegally, how do you think he's gonna live in Texas?
Yes, I understand. I know if he's going to be deported, like he said, because I love Javier. I've always been by his side, and we're willing to move and have a family in Mexico because we want our family together. You know, I want to raise my kids with him. He's been a supporter from, you know, my kids, my daughter, she was 5 when he met her, and I have never complained. He has always helped me, and I'm nervous. That's why I'm stuttering. Forgive me.
We appreciate the word. I just had to ask that question. Okay, we'll move on now. Thank you for everything y'all have said. Take that into consideration. We'll move on now to the pastor, Patricia Costa. Is that saying that right? The Reverend Costa?
Hello, I am Patty Costa. My husband is Javier Ribon's pastor, and I am here representing my husband this morning. He had another commitment prior to this meeting, but I would like to say that during the last 3 years, Javier has been an outstanding member of our congregation. And not only have we ministered to him during the time he was present in our church, but during the time he was incarcerated, we exchanged letters on a monthly or bi-monthly.
Okay, we lost you, I believe. Okay, we'll try to get back in touch with her. Okay. All right, well, we'll move on then for now. And
You're gonna ask the.
Mr. Perot, Jonathan Perot.
Yes.
Am I saying that right?
Perot, yeah.
Yes, sir. Would you approach the podium and introduce yourself and tell us what you know?
Thank you very much for the opportunity to address you today.
Yes, sir.
My name is Jonathan Perot. I used to work at the Times-Picayune. I live in Metairie now, and I've known Javier for a long time, more than 10 years, probably closer to 15 years. I met him through a roofer that I know, and Javier is in the roofing business and has worked for many roofers across the Gulf South. I just want to make sure you got the packages I put together. There's about 30 letters that people, okay.
Yes, sir. We've got them all.
Okay, great. And Javier and I have worked together for a long time. I own property in New Orleans. He and I have been up on roofs together. I trust this man with my life. So I'm here on his behalf, and I'm also here on behalf of a large community of people who know and love this man. And we're hoping that he will grant parole. In helping him, I met people from all over the country who know him through church and through work, and all of them have nothing but incredibly good things to say about him. Now, I realize that this isn't really the purpose of the parole hearing. I understand that he pleaded guilty to a serious crime. He, it's a little complicated. I know you see there's no opposition here today, but really, there's a reason for that. And I put a lot of effort into trying to help this guy, and I don't step out for just anyone. So this is really important to me. I'm just his friend. But there's a lot of people in New Orleans right now watching on Zoom, a lot of people who couldn't make it up here. I had 3 or 4 people who were gonna come, one's in the hospital, and so that kind of thing. Sully, his wife, remains very devoted to him more than anyone. And she needs his support. He's a very supportive, very hardworking, very moral, very honest man. And he has been swept up in the justice system and swept under the rug, and he hasn't had a voice. And that's why I'm so passionate about being here. So that package I sent you has a lot of letters. It has people offering him jobs and offering him housing. And I know that's part of what you're looking for. I know you're looking for deep remorse and a lot of classes. I've watched a lot of your YouTube videos from parole hearings. I understand that he hasn't had the opportunity to do the classes, and I know he would have. I talk to him almost every day on the phone. So I think he's in a tight situation, and I think that even though it's not completely up your alley, I think you're in a position to help him. And I think his community is in a huge position to help him. If you do grant him parole, I think they're behind him 100%. I know he's probably gonna get deported, but they're still behind him 100%. And it's just a life that I feel is important to try to help. He's a first-time offender. He has no write-ups. He doesn't get in fights. He doesn't do drugs. He's very religious. He's been trying to get moved into a faith-based dormitory, but instead he's been sleeping on the floor and suffering. But anyway, there was another guy who was gonna come today. His name is Leroy McIntyre Jr. He's a Mississippi businessman. He has 2 paragraphs he just asked me to read, and I think they sum up a little bit of what all those letters.
Okay, if you'll conclude with those.
Okay, yeah, I'll conclude with this. I'm sorry. He says, "My name is Leroy McIntyre Jr. I regret I'm unable to attend today, but I don't want this hearing to pass without voicing my full support of parole for Javier. I've known him for more than 20 years. He's worked for me on and off as a roofer during that time, always dependable, always honest, never once had an issue with him. He's not just a good worker, he's a good man. His faith, his work ethic, and his character have always stood out. If released, I'm committed to helping him transition back through job opportunities and personal support. I don't believe Javier poses any risk to society. On the contrary, I believe his release would benefit his family, his children, and community." So those are the themes that are echoed in those letters. Please take those into consideration.
Okay.
Javier is a good man, and we're just
Yes,
hoping
sir.
that you grant him parole today. Thank you.
We'll do that. Thank you for your words.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Lieutenant, I see you've gotten back into the room. Would you tell us, do you know anything that will help us as far as his disciplines, work ethic, attitude, behavior, anything you can help us with?
No, sir. He's been fine here. We've not had any issues.
Okay.
I wanted to ask, he says that he has not been able to get any of the classes he needs. Is that true? And then,
I was just informed this morning by our DOC lady, Miss Stevenson, that they were told that they cannot be put in any classes.
why is that?
I do not know, ma'am. That's by DOC. You'll have to get with Miss Stevenson on that. She can probably explain that better than I can. I just do the Zoom court, ma'am.
All right, I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Well, sir, your case has been assigned to Miss Stapleton, and your case has been assigned to Miss Stapleton, and she's going to ask some questions. And Mr. Tillis and I will follow up with any questions we might have, and then we'll vote and decide what your outcome is going to be today.
Okay. Well, you do have a great amount of support, and you pronounce your last name Bautista.
Ribon Bautista.
Oh, well, how about if I just call you Javier?
That
Sorry.
sounds good.
Javier? Okay. And so I've read the packet, but it starts off with, I'm gonna talk about the victim, okay? And the crime. So it starts off with just one sentence in it is, his biggest mistake was crossing the US-Mexico border illegally. His second was pleading guilty to indecent behavior with a juvenile. Javier deeply regrets both. Okay, so now what I have here is that the indecent behavior with a juvenile was a plea bargain for molestation of the juvenile. And this all took place, and it's actually another word for it is child sexual abuse between her ages of 8 and 11, where you were renting a room with her father, who was your best friend, and all of this took place. You want to tell me what happened?
Yes, basically, yes, I was renting a place from this person. I don't know if all this will matter, but we have a history in our families that goes back from Mexico. I've been knowing this family for many, many years. And this person, the father who first called the police on me, he owed me some money. I used to do good back then, and I wasn't married yet. And he asked me for money, and he knew that I was in and out from the state because I used to work in Mississippi, Alabama, or Florida, doing roofing jobs. And at some point, he borrowed me money, and about 2 months passed. I didn't receive my money, but I told to him, and he offered me a room because he knew I was looking for one. And he was living there by himself. He has nobody living in there. And one day that it was on a Monday that I used to leave for work. Then I knew that they accused me of something, and I wasn't there to say anything. In fact, they make it look like I fled the place, but I just was out of the state, and I got many witnesses that I used to work like that all the time. And basically, all that they was put together, and when the time came, whenever I was brought to prison, that happened in 2014, according to the paperwork. And when I was trying to fly to Mexico to visit my family, then I was arrested, and that's when they notified me that I had that problem. I didn't know I had that problem. But at the end, I pleaded guilty because they pressured me. I rejected the plea not one but many times, and they just keep pushing me, and I pleaded guilty because of pressure, and also because they used my family to put pressure on me. I just couldn't stand watching my wife crying in front of me, and they dragged me like that. So that's why I pleaded guilty to something that I didn't commit, and that's why I'm here, and I I spent all my money in lawyers that wanted to help me, and the part that hurt me most it is that I'm sorry. I watch so many people with many more charges being defended by the same lawyers I had that did nothing for me. And these people within 2 months, they got their problems solved, they got out, and for me, they didn't even try to clarify what happened. And I'm sorry, I cannot this anymore. I cannot, I cannot know anymore about the struggles my wife is having all this time, but trying to keep the family together. And that's why the letter is right. I regret pleading guilty of something I didn't commit. They treat me like I was guilty no matter what. I had no chance. I can say many things about the case, but how I can defend myself about something I didn't commit.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I see where, that it was 2014 and, she was brought to the Child Advocacy Center. And, all of this was disclosed. The Child Advocacy Center, they talk to children and they're experts in interviewing for, sexual abuse and just different things like that. They're social workers. And so that was the right place to do that with a child.
Yes.
And she did say that these things happened between the ages of 8 and 11, and you're saying she lied.
Yes, even the father testified. The father says, and that is on paper, he doesn't believe that occurred, and there are facts, man. At first, this family, they wanted me to stay away from them because that way they will keep my money, and that way they don't want it to. I mean, that way they don't have to pay me. Um, but not just that. They closed a case, as I remember in the records, they closed a case, but they came 5 years later accusing me of something worse, terrible. And the medical record shows that that never happened. And I see a lot of things that I was accused of that the medical records prove otherwise. And that's why I've been saying this, but I don't know why my lawyers never tried to prove this. Why, if they had the medical records and all that, they never, then they don't even try to use it to try to defend me or something.
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, I understand now that you would have taken the programs if you could have taken the programs.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's beyond your ability to control. Normally from the DA's office, the ADA, Mr. Randall Myers appears and he speaks for the DA's office. And you have complete opposition with the judge and the sheriff and the AG and the Kenner police. But the DA's office sent his letter, which is their position on what happened. So I'm going to read it. It's 3 paragraphs. So you'll hear what Mr. Meyer would have said had he been here. Okay.
Okay.
The facts and circumstances which led to the conviction of the above referenced inmate have been reviewed by my office for the July 24th, 2025 meeting on the committee of parole, and that's you, Mr. Javier Bautista. We are strongly opposed to the early release of Mr. Bautista. He is a 39-year-old first felony offender who pled guilty to indecent behavior with a juvenile and was sentenced to 7 years at hard labor. The facts show Mr. Bautista kissed and fondled the 11-year-old daughter of his friend with whom he lived. The girl reported the incident to her mother, which resulted in an investigation. There is an allegation Mr. Bautista raped the girl when she was 8 years old in the instant offense. Mr. Bautista kissed and fondled the victim. He was 39 years old at the time of the offense. Mr. Bautista pled guilty to indecent behavior with the juvenile and was sentenced in 2024 to 7 years. Now, this goes to where you haven't been able. Mr. Bautista has very limited programming. He has not taken pre-release substance abuse education or sex offender programs. His static 99 shows he is a sex offender moderate risk. There is outstanding immigration detainer for Mr. Bautista. Further, the victim struggles with opposition, but definitely wants him to have no contact with her. According to his request, the parole should be denied. So the victim, she talks about that her her innocence was taken away, and it made it extremely difficult for her to have a safe and calm childhood because of what happened. And she does go on to say, I would also like a no contact restriction or restraining order should you be released. But of course, with the detainer, if you're sent back to Mexico, that would be the case. You can speak as you want to speak.
Yes, ma'am. If they bring in all that, so do you have access to the medical records there on paper that prove otherwise that they are lying? Because they taking statements from people that are supposed to be professionals in their fields, and the same people that took all these arguments and approve them, they're the same people that have the proofs that this person was still a virgin at the age they say.
Well, you weren't charged with rape, remember? They went back to the fondling, and so you were charged with that. You were not charged with aggravated rape.
Yes, but why would they try to accuse me of something worse?
Well, they didn't charge you for it, but we're not going to retry the case.
Yes.
We're just here for, what we have, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So you heard what law enforcement has to say, you heard what the victim says. And so, and you have extreme law enforcement opposition. So that's all my questions today.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have any questions?
Yeah. How long did you live with this man?
For less than a month. Less than a month.
You lived with him less than a month?
Not with them, with him. He
With
had
him?
nobody living in the house. This family was separate. Like this man and his wife, they split out, they divorced. There was nobody living in the house. It was just himself. In fact, the house could not have more people. It had barely 2 small rooms. Sadly, those years, the lawyers didn't even try to investigate, and there are many things that are not true in those statements.
Okay, you lived with him less than a month.
Yes.
And I see where they said this was going on between the girl's age of 8 and 11.
Yeah, according to the documents I read, is about 11. Yes.
Well, they said between 8 and 11, 8 years old and 11. So how long did you know the young lady?
I don't. Well, can I at least know the name? Because I remember is 3. They have 3 children. All they did is refer to the accuser as J. Falcon, but I don't know which one is. I don't even know the name.
So what I'm asking is, it stated that this was going on between her age of 8 and 11. So how long did you know her, or how long did you know the name? If you only lived with this guy 1 month.
Yes. I've been knowing the family for, let's say, probably 33 years.
30 years?
Yes.
So you know the little girl for a long time, the family?
No, I never got in touch with them until I got to live in New Orleans, and that was probably 4 years before that date of 2014. I moved to New Orleans to work.
Okay, so the other thing I wanted to ask you was, who pressured you into confessing?
The lawyer and also the judge. I rejected the offer. I wanted to go to trial, and they just kept pushing me. They kept pushing me. They didn't. I don't wanted to play guilty. I wanted to go to trial, and they just kept pushing me, and they put pressure on my wife.
Your attorney pressured you into doing that?
Yes, of course, all that will not be, they don't do it in open court, but the part that the judge himself, when I rejected the plea, he said that in public and tried to break me, and he said that if I didn't plead guilty, they will give me a max, and they will give me from 25 to 99. He will make sure I get the 99.
Okay. Let me ask his wife a question.
Yes.
Did they pressure your husband, in your opinion?
Yes, I was gonna ask for a word to speak on that day because I was the one paying the lawyer. And to be honest, that day prior, the day before, the lawyer talked to Javier in jail to ask if he was gonna plead guilty. And Javier told the lawyer no. He even told me, Javier told me, no, I'm not gonna plead guilty. I wanna go to trial, you know? And the day of the court date, Javier called me early in the morning while I was on my way to court. And I asked him again, I said, what are you going to do? And he said, I'm not pleading guilty. So I said, okay, I'm going to support you through everything. When I got to court, the attorney took me outside of the courtroom and he asked me, what's going to happen, right? What did Javier told me? And I said, Javier is not going to plead guilty. And he said, okay. When it was Javier's turn to see the judge, and he asked if he accepted the plea deal, the attorney told the judge he didn't accept the plea deal. Okay. And this is what happened. I was there, and the attorney told the judge for the judge to speak with Javier. So the judge said, okay, sit down and I'll talk, I will see the other cases, and then I'll come back to you again. So the attorney took me back up the courtroom and told me, he said, do you understand if he's found guilty, he's gonna face 50, 60 years. That's the maximum, the judge is gonna give him. So when he told me that, I start crying, my feelings are, like, I don't want to see my husband 50, 60 years in jail,
Okay, that's good. That's good. Thank you.
Okay. We have a request for an executive session.
I second.
It's a motion and a second for executive session, and I concur. So that'll take care of the vote.
Prater,
Yes.
Tillis,
Yes.
Stapleton.
Yes.
Okay, we'll be in a brief executive session, and All right, time is 9:46 in the morning. Could I have a motion to come back into regular session from executive session?
I'll make the motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a motion and a second, and I concur, therefore we don't need to vote, I don't think, because we all took part in it. So we're back into regular session right now. It's 9:46 in the morning, and I think we've had all the questions answered. Can you hear okay? I see you doing your ear.
I have hearing issues.
Do you have your earphones?
Yes, I'm a connecting.
Okay, take your time. You need to hear this.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, your case has been Miss Stapleton, assigned to her, so she's the first to vote.
Okay, Mr. Bautista, I'm gonna vote to deny your parole based upon the information that I've received from law enforcement DA. You have extreme law enforcement opposition from the judge, the sheriff, the AG's office, the Kenner Police, and the DA, as you know, based upon the victim statements. So that's gonna be my vote today.
Okay,
My vote's a grant.
okay, we have one grant and one deny, and of course you have to have unanimous in order to get it, so you did not get your parole today. So, at the time is 9:47 in the morning. And I also, just for the record, because you need to know, I also don't think that you've done enough time on what you pled guilty to. And please understand, our job is not to retry the case or determine if you were pressured. That's up to the district court and the appellate courts and eventually the Supreme Court. Our job is to deal with what you pled to. And you pled to a very serious crime just roughly 2 years ago, or a year and something ago, and you got 7-year sentence. And I don't think you've done enough of what you pled to. So your case, your parole has been denied, I'm sorry to say, and I wish you luck. And we will try to get you somewhere that possibly some courses will be offered where you can start taking some courses. At 9:48 this morning, your parole has been denied.
They still ain't came.
All right, good morning. My name is Steve Prater and we're talking to Union Parish Detention Center. Is that correct? Union Parish, would you unmute? Talk to it. Okay, there you are. All right, are you unmuted? Can you talk to us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right, tell me what your name is and your DOC number.
Jim Castaneda. My DOC is 751598.
Okay, and you are in Union Parish Detention Center, and would the staff there, is there a staff member in there with you?
Yes.
Would they introduce themselves, please?
It's Latasha Archie.
Okay. All right. Well, my name is Steve Prater, and we're at the Department of Corrections headquarters in Baton Rouge. To my left is Chuck Tillis. To my right is Carolyn Stapleton. We'll be hearing your case this morning. The first thing we're going to do is hear from you and tell us why you're there, what you did. Tell us what you've done since you've been there to have earned a chance at parole. And just tell us what's on your heart. Then we're going to ask the facility there to tell us what kind of fellow you've been. And then we're going to go into some, talk to Miss Teodora Juarez, your mother, who's on Zoom, and hear what she got to say. Then I'll ask you some questions, followed by my board members and your mother. So as of right now, it's time for you to tell us what's on your mind and try to convince us that you're worthy of being paroled early from your sentence.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I've been here in Union Parish for 4 months now. I got transferred from Bossier about 4 months ago, and I've been a trustee the whole time. I'm in here for indecent behavior with juvenile. And at the beginning of my sentence, I ended up doing the sex offender program that took a year, and I also did the Shy program in Bossier. I completed both of them. I submitted certificates when I submitted my parole package.
Okay.
Truth is, I've tried to be as good as a person as I can be. I used to be in the military before I got arrested, and I made a lot of mistakes, and that ended me being in here. And I've learned from them. I can tell you that from maybe perhaps a selfish perspective, there is nothing that would make me want to do any crimes, because I do not want to come back here. This has been a deterrent, because I was used to a certain type of lifestyle, and this is not it. This is not a place that I would like to be. I know that, and on top of that, I know I did wrong. I feel very remorseful. I was able to apologize through CPS a few years ago, and I was glad I was able to do that. And I've noticed that one of the biggest things I've learned is that your actions does have consequences, and this is one of the consequences that I've had to deal with now for over 7 years. I've lost a lot of things that were precious to me, and I've had to deal with that because, like I said, those are the consequences that come with people's actions, especially my actions. I lost my father about 4 months ago, and that was a big blow on me. So, truth is the matter is, I've been a trustee pretty much the whole time that I've been incarcerated at Bossier and at here. I used to be a cook in Bossier, and I went through a bunch of other different positions, the same here. And at the end of the day, I can tell you that the way I think about it now is if I do get granted parole, it'll be a mercy. I know that at the end of the day, society dictated that I need to do my full time. And if that is the case, then so be it. And if you guys do permit me to leave here early, I can promise you that I will do anything and everything in my power to become an asset to society instead of being a burden on it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. And when somebody from Union Parish, well, of course, I know all you have is 4 months experience with him. How has he been 4 months?
He's been doing good. Like I said, he's a good worker. I never seen him got in any trouble, as far as I know. He's a good cook. He worked in the kitchen, but as far as that, he's been doing good.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, let's move on to the mom, Miss Juarez, if I'm saying that right, and I'm probably not. But it's your turn to talk about your son, please, ma'am, and introduce yourself.
My name is Teodora, and I am Jim's mom's. Part of my accent, because English is my second language. But I know Jim has learned his lesson. I love him very much, and I think he learned a lot. So I know he's going to be a better citizen, a better man, a better son. Even that, I love him very much because he's been good to me all the time. And so sad that his dad passed away, being so so sad because he didn't hug his son again. That he was his only wish before die. But still, I am here waiting for him and be with him. I know he learned his lesson. It was very hard for him and for me, but he has only me and I have only him in this world. So
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, ma'am. We appreciate that, those comments. Take them into consideration. Okay, Mr. Castaneda, your case has been assigned to me, so I get to ask some questions. I don't have a lot. How long have you served in prison? How long have you been in prison?
7 years and 4 months, sir.
And what was your sentence?
9.
Okay. And so you're going to be getting out in 27 anyway, correct? Is that right?
It would be March of 2027, yes.
Okay. So you can be getting out then anyway. The thing I didn't hear, and of course we kind of glossed over, led to indecent behavior with a juvenile. It was multiple juveniles, and it was as horrible of sex offenses with little kids that you're related to that I've ever read or heard. I've been in this business a long time. You did some terrible things. You know that?
Yes, sir, I do.
And I didn't hear any remorse from about the victims, about how you've ruined their lives. This isn't, as your mom said, teaching you a lesson. I mean, that's like when you steal something from 7-Eleven and your dad takes you back and says you got to admit you stole it. That's teaching you a lesson. This is ruining other people's lives and serious stuff. So I don't know that 9 years is enough to teach us a lesson about that, but that's what bothers me. But anyway, I don't have any other questions. Mr. Coach.
Yeah, I just would like to say something, having been a victim's advocate for many years. I know this, like Chilla said, Mr. Prater said, I agree with him. The crimes were heinous and horrible. The children are in foster care. They're in foster care. I do know this, when somebody is a victim of any type of crime, as long as the person is locked up, they sleep much more easily. But the minute they find out that person is fixing to get out, their whole world comes crashing down on them. So 9 years to me is just doesn't reflect what you did to those children, but it's the very least you can serve. And you can tell what my vote's going to be.
Okay, I think it's time to vote. My vote is to deny. I don't think you've been in jail long enough. I appreciate your attitude and appreciate the interview. I think it was lacking some victim remorse, to be honest. But my vote is to deny. Mr. Tillis?
My vote's to deny.
My vote is also to deny. There's opposition by the judge, and I agree completely with Mr. Prater.
Okay, the time is 10:05. I'm sorry to tell you, but your parole has been denied. It's more than the end of the hearing. Good morning, Mr. Ferguson. Can you see us? You're on mute, please. Yeah.
Okay, is that better?
That's better. And your name is James Ferguson, correct?
Yes, sir.
What's your DOC number?
536195.
Okay, and you're at WINN Parish Detention Center, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, would the staff at WINN introduce yourselves, please?
Tessa Musgrove.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for hosting us. We appreciate that. We'll call on you in just a minute. My name is Steve Prater. To my left is Chuck Tillis. To my right is Carolyn Stapleton. We're on the Committee on Parole. We'll be hearing your case this morning. The time is 10:10, and the date is July 24th, 2025. Okay, the way that we'll handle this, Mr. Ferguson, there's nobody going to be speaking on your behalf and nobody speaking in opposition against you. But we will we'll ask you first off, what did you do to get you there? Why are you in jail? What have you learned since you've been there? And why do you think you'd be a good bet for us to vote to parole you today? So go ahead and take it away. It's your shot.
Okay, that's well, obviously I'm here for having an inappropriate relationship with an underage girl, and big mistake, poor choice. I mean, I say poor choice. It's just, there's really no excuses and I'm not going to try and make any excuses or anything like that. But, I've had 18 years to, sit and think about all of that. And, do I regret doing it? Yes, because the lasting effects of what happens, it wasn't just that it affected me, that, I was incarcerated and have been down for 18 years, is that the effects that it had on her brother, herself, her mother, her, all of her family, the effects that it had on my children. They've grown up. My daughter is here with me today, and I have a wonderful family that has been very close to me and very supportive through this entire time. But they've grown up, seeing daddy on the weekends, and there was, times where, you want to hurry up and get home because there's first dates and graduations, birthday parties, and, those are all gone. Marriages already happened, birth of grandchildren, that's already happened. So, I mean, there's just a lot of things that daddies are supposed to be there for. And I, out of my own choice, took myself out of that equation through selfishness and, everything else. But, you don't think about the domino effect of things when you are just, I guess, just doing things that you do. And, and a lot of people, I'm a better person for it. And I mean, there's a lot of things that you have time to think about. And I really believe that I'm a better person now by far than I was, even well before this all happened. You realize the things that are small that you took for granted, and you think about the way other people feel about things before you act. And, if I were to get paroled, I guess I don't know why I would be a good candidate for parole. Is, it's just, I don't know. That's a tough question too, because there's a lot of reasons that you can come up with, but the main one is just that, I feel that I'm a much better person, and I'm more attentive to wanting to be in my children's life more. And, you can't make up for things that you've done. And I don't know. I'm generally a big talker, but I'm kind of at a loss for things to say. It's.
Well, we appreciate it. I think you summed it up pretty well. Your case has been well, let's hear from the officials at WINN Parish. How long have you been there?
I've been here for almost a year now.
Okay, and how long has Mr. Ferguson been here?
2 years.
2 years.
Okay, and what's his reputation around the facility?
He's good. He's one of our right-hand guys. He takes care of a lot of business for us. He's a floor monitor. And he's got a real good rapport with the staff and everybody else.
Okay, thank you for that. Mr. Tillis, this case has been assigned to you, so would you take it from here and ask any questions that you have?
How are you doing, Mr. Ferguson?
Oh, I'm nervous.
And you've served 18 years of a 20-year sentence
That is correct.
for molestation. And you've had some sexual classes.
Yes, sir. They offer the Madison program. I've taken it. The fifth level of it. It's not a requirement, but you know, I took it in. That's the facilitator level, but I've taken that. We emailed the copies of the certificates on the 11th of this month.
I have them. Yeah. What did you learn out of some of those classes?
Well, you know, it's basically what they tell you in the classes is, you know, they give you scenarios and ask you, you know, what risk factor you're at, and being completely honest, there's a lot of the stuff in there that is, you know, people feel doesn't apply to them, but you take it in, but it's, you just, I guess, out of all of it, if you take aside, I guess, some of like the creepy scenarios they put in there, it's just trying to basically give forethought to any decisions that you make. Actually try to, I guess, curb some of those thoughts.
If you were released, where would you live?
In Bienville Parish on Lake Bistineau and Ringgold. It's kind of out in the country. It's right on the lake.
Okay, and you still have contact with your family?
Yes, sir. Regularly. My daughter a couple of times a week, my son about once a month, and my mother is every Sunday.
Every Sunday. I see. And you have 2 years left?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have no more questions.
Okay, Ms. Stephen?
Yeah, you said that you had an inappropriate relationship with a young girl. What was the inappropriate relationship and how old was the child?
She was 15.
Okay.
And
how old were you?
I was 30.
Okay.
Well, basically we were, at the time I was dating her mother, and we, like I said, not making excuses. We were having issues, and we had grown pretty close, and we basically, I mean, you know, we basically started more of a fling that I can't really call it a relationship. We started a fling, and it just was not.
Well, the fling, what was the fling? Did you have sex with the child?
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to know. Okay, so you did have sex with the child. And how long did that last?
Oh, about a month and a half.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you do have extreme opposition with the DA, the sheriff, the AG. You're going to be getting out in a couple of years. You've had your classes. You should have no contact with this individual. I hope you know that.
Yes, ma'am.
Was there a situation where somebody called her mother and everything?
They got into contact with my daughter in 2019. The mother, actually my daughter and the mother had supper together, and they did a lot of talking. She gave her number to my daughter to give to me. I've talked to her mother. Wasn't long after that, the victim got in touch with my daughter, and she wanted me. So we actually, at that time in 2020, Caleb.
Let him finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
In 2020, the victim actually was propositioned that if it helped with my parole, she wanted to actually get married. And that ended up kind of puttering out because there was a long time there. I haven't, like I said, I haven't spoken. I've been here right at 2 years. I haven't had contact with her. We have an email, like a texting tablet system over at the other facility I was at. And we actually stayed in fairly regular contact, but since I've come over here, we haven't really been in contact with each other or anything. But that actually started in about 2019, where we started. We had a chance to actually talk about what happened. Talked about what happened with the mother, and honestly, after that, there was a lot of. I mean, it was a lot of crying, and we came out of it. I with a different mindset, and a lot of feelings got lifted.
When you say she wanted to get married, who are you referring to?
The victim.
The victim wanted to marry who?
Me.
Okay, all right.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, let me ask you, what was the contributor to the delinquency of juvenile arrest in 2005?
That was, I was in my vehicle. My son was with me. Me and my ex-wife were arguing. I had left and was speeding in my truck. And honestly, when the officer pulled me over, it should have, I think it probably should have been like, what is that? Endangerment or something like that. But he did the contributing. The DA threw that out, and I went with, I pled guilty to reckless driving or reckless operation.
And did you plead guilty to the current charge that we're talking about?
I did.
Okay, it was a reduced charge, right? Plea bargain?
Well, yeah, it was. Yes, sir. It was a plea.
Okay.
I don't really, I didn't fight it too long because, I mean, there really was no point. I really don't know what the other charge was. My lawyer came to me and said, this is what they're offering. And just to save any, anguish or anything, I took that plea.
All right, I think we're prepared to vote, Mr. Jones.
Mr. Ferguson, I see the remorsefulness in you. You've admitted to what you've done, and you've served 18 years of a 20-year sentence. My vote today is going to be to grant parole. To grant.
Ms. Staples?
My vote is going to be denied. You got a plea bargain, and the child was 15 to your 30 years of age, so age difference.
Okay, I'm sorry to tell you this, but your parole has been denied because you need it unanimous. Keep doing what you're doing. You gave a good interview. Kind of unusual circumstances, but I believe that in 2 years you're gonna get out anyway. I think we need to go ahead and just suck it up and do the 2 years. So
yes, sir.
Anyway, as of 10:22 this morning, your parole has been denied in the hearing.
All right. I knew I had to have unanimous.
Okay, my name is Steve Prater. To my left is Chuck Tillis. To my right is Carolyn Stapleton. As you can see on our name tags, we're going to be talking to Tangipahoa Parish Jail, Mr. Tommy Hanna, who is the inmate. Mr. Hanna, are you with us? Need to unmute your mic, please, sir. Tommy R.
You're welcome.
Now, is your name Mr. Tommy Hanna?
Correct.
What's your DLC number, Mr. Hanna?
758-415.
Okay. Would you sit back a little bit there? You're a little too close to the camera.
I can't hear you. I'm trying to get close to the microphone.
Okay, I understand. Okay, is anybody in there from Tangipahoa with you? Any staff members?
I can't hear you, sir.
Are there any staff members in there with you?
No, sir.
Okay, did you hear that okay?
Sir?
Okay. Can you hear me when I talk at this level?
I can barely hear you, barely hear you.
Well, it's important that you hear us. So we're gonna have to get with the staff. And
you want me to call staff? I'll call staff back in.
Yes, do that. Good morning. Can you turn it up or?
I'm doing it.
Okay, can you hear us if we talk this up? Okay, that was an easy fix. Okay, Tangipahoa, would you introduce the staff there, please, at the facility?
The staff,
Is the staff still in there?
No, sir, they left.
Okay, this is like herding chickens or something. Okay, Mr. Hanna, what is your DOC number?
758-415.
Okay, we're here this morning. We're in Baton Rouge. You're in Tangipahoa. We're going to be talking about your parole. You're wanting to get out earlier than your sentence concludes. And so we're going to give you a chance to tell us just exactly what you did, why you did it, what you've learned since you've been incarcerated, how long you've been there, and that sort of thing. So we'll do that. Then there's nobody speaking on behalf of you. And then we have one person that's going to be speaking from the DA's office. They'll be speaking in opposition. So we'll go ahead. We want you to go ahead and get started. Tell us why you're there, what you did, what you learned.
I was in the process of moving. I decided to go by a friend's house, have a few drinks with him, tell him bye. I was moving to a new area. And I did that, and evidently it was the wrong mistake. And I went by McDonald's to get me something to eat, and I got upset with them at McDonald's because they messed up the order, and that's what caused the accident. And from there on, I've been brought to jail, and I've been through some anger management classes, and I pretty much realized I was trying to live in a year of being 35, trying to stay young, and that just, it's time for me to grow up. It's time for me to take responsibility and be older. Start becoming a responsible person. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I've been through several classes. I've took all the opportunities I can to better myself while I've been incarcerated. I've been here 21 months, and I've been through 3 classes.
Okay.
I have no write-ups, no disciplinary actions. They barely know I'm even here.
Okay. All right. Well, next we'll move on to, since nobody with the staff is there, we're going to move on to Alexis Taylor. Is Alexis Taylor, are you here with us?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
How y'all doing?
We're doing good. Tell us what's on your mind. Please,
Good.
ma'am.
Well, Mr. Hanna is 21 months into a 10-year sentence on a DWI fourth offense. He's mentioned that he has taken anger management classes, but those classes aren't going to be substantial to address the underlying issue here. Again, this is a DWI fourth. He has a history of alcohol abuse dating back to at least 2002. We have a DWI first offense conviction in November of 2002, then again in December of 2010, then again in December of 2018, then again we have a DWI third in August of 2020. He picked up the current matter that he is seeking parole on in June of 2023. And while that matter was pending, he picked up another DWI fourth in November of 2023. So the state is jumping up and down, sir, board, to keep him incarcerated for the duration of his sentence.
Okay, thank you very much. And it means a lot to us when the DA's office actually appears. And so thank you very much for weighing in on this. Thank you. Okay, the case has been assigned to Ms. Stapleton, who will ask the questions, and then we'll ask any follow-ups that we need.
Okay, Mr. Hanna, you said that you've had 3 classes. I showed the one class, understanding reducing angry feelings. What else have you had?
The money management in my GED class.
Okay, well, what about your alcohol problem?
I've asked for that treatment, and they all given here is the drug abuse class. They're not given no alcohol abuse. But I've been to several meetings that were brought into the jail that they brought in. I took every available chance I could to better myself.
You said meetings. Are you talking about AA meetings?
In AA meetings, they're practically the same.
Okay, yeah. And how often are they?
They're the first Tuesday of every month.
Okay, so once a month, huh?
Yes.
So in your case, I mean, you have an extreme problem with alcoholism, and then you have all these DWIs, which fortunately hasn't killed anyone yet.
No,
but the yet is the operative word now. So would you be interested if we recommend you to go to a different facility where they have a very good alcohol program, substance abuse program?
Yes, ma'am. I would make any recommendations at all.
Okay. And the anger management, why did you feel like you needed that? Because I know you said you got mad at McDonald's.
That's what caused most of my problems. Getting angry and not paying attention to what I was supposed to be doing, and drinking. Angry, yes. Every time I've got in trouble, it's been because of anger issues.
What other type of trouble have you gotten into?
Drinking, driving, that's mostly it.
Okay. All right. Well, you have opposition. You know, you have the district attorney's opposition. You have the attorney general's opposition, and you have chief of police opposition. Somebody else got something?
I don't have any questions. I don't have any questions. I think it's time to vote. So.
Yeah, I'm going to vote that you be denied based upon your extreme, extensive criminal history concerning DWIs. You haven't served enough time on your sentence, and you have a poor supervision record when you're let out. You've been revoked many times. And then I'm going to make a recommendation that you get moved to a facility that can offer a DOC substance abuse program.
Thank you.
My vote is to deny.
Okay. And my vote also is to deny. As of today, your parole has been denied at 10:40 in the morning. We're gonna recommend that you maybe get some treatment somewhere else, but you hadn't served near enough time when your sentence is not reasonable. 10:40 Good morning. Is your name Michael Jacobs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is your DLC number?
768322, sir.
Okay. And are you in Lafayette Parish Correctional Center? Is that where you are?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
Since April 10th.
Okay. Is any staff in the room with you?
She just walked out, sir. Would you like me to call for her?
No, no. We'll talk to her when she comes back possibly. Well, Michael, this is your day. You've applied for this parole hearing. So we're going to listen to what you did. You tell us what you did. Tell us what you've done since you've been incarcerated. And you tell us what you've done that would make us think that you were a good risk or a good candidate for parole. And when you're through talking, then we're going to turn it over to Mr. Tillis, who's going to ask any questions. He's on my left, and Ms. Stapleton on my right will follow up with that, and I'll follow up with any other questions that I might have, and then we'll vote. So why don't you take it away, Mr. Jacobs, and tell us, give it your best shot.
Okay, thank you, sir. First off, I'd like to say thank you and good morning to the committees of the board. My name is Michael Jacobs. I'm 25, and I'm currently being housed at DSU Lafayette Reentry Program. Since coming to reentry, I've been through courses and classes which has helped me understand the error of my ways in the past. I am building a strong foundation for myself and giving myself a chance at a better future. So far, I've managed to complete LA Risk 1 and 2 substance abuse, anger management, while also becoming certified in the rigging course through the South Louisiana Community College. I'm currently taking educational courses so that I may get my GED. While being incarcerated, I remained a model trustee, holding jobs and going without any infractions or write-ups. I have made a support plan and residential plan for when I get out. I've been accepted for housing at the Summit House located at 113 Ogeron Drive. My dad is currently being housed there while also completing the reentry program. He has been successful since his release. I do believe that I can make the right decisions and live correctly now that I have been through this amazing program. I'm ready for a second chance at life, and I do apologize for my crime I committed against the state of Louisiana.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate that statement. We'll take that into consideration with, and we'll follow up with any other questions. Mr. Tillis?
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Jacobs.
Good morning, sir.
How long have you been incarcerated?
34 months since September 22nd of 22, sir.
34 months. And you've been taking some classes, you said?
Yes, sir. I've completed LA Risk, which is substance abuse, and I've also completed anger management. And I'm currently doing educational courses right now to try to get my GED, and I've got a rigging certificate in the vocational class that they have to offer here.
How far did you go in high? Well, you didn't finish high school. Huh?
No, sir.
Were you on drugs, using drugs?
Yes, sir, I was.
And selling drugs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have no more questions.
Okay. Ms. Stapleton?
So your drug was heroin, that's correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And were you out before on probation or parole and it got revoked?
Lake Charles.
Lake Charles?
Ma'am.
And what were you out for?
Ma'am?
What were you out for? What was your
possession charge?
Okay, possession
Yes, ma'am.
of what?
Of marijuana and cocaine.
And then you were revoked.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I have no questions.
Okay. How many months have you served, and what was your total sentence?
My total sentence was 13 years, and I've been incarcerated 34 months.
34 months out of 13 years. And you got a long-term substance problem, it looks like. I don't have any other questions.
I'm ready to vote.
I think we're ready to vote.
Mr. Jacobs,
Miss Jessica Hall would like to know if she could say a few words on my behalf.
Okay, who is Jessica Hall?
So what's up? Good morning. I'm the director of the Lafayette Regional Reentry Center.
Okay, good. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Morning.
So Mr. Jacobs came to my attention actually from his father, who he was serving time with in Riverbend at the time. They were both offender workers that were working as trustees, and he came here first to get some rehabilitation programming, and he released into the community here right now is living in a sober living, and he indicated that he wanted to get his son here for some help so he could go the same route, and he could assist him in his recovery. Since he's been here, he's been an excellent student. He does everything that he's told to do. He goes to NAA meetings every week. He has indicated that he would like to go to a sober living in the community, which he has already been accepted to Summit House. And I don't know if you received a letter that the gentleman had written. We had submitted it on his behalf. But Mr. Jacobs seems to me that he is I'm so sorry, intending to stay in his recovery with good behavior, and he knows that he needs the help. He needs help, and he's intending to receive the help. And that's the attitude that he has shown here at the reentry center. He is currently in education classes. He completed some other things before he got here, and we have a stipulation where someone cannot enter pre-release until their last 6 months or to be approved for work release. So he hasn't hit that mark yet. But if he is approved by the board, and that's something that stipulation that we need to do now, we will enroll him in pre-release before he would be released.
Okay. All right, well, thank you for those words. Okay, I believe it's time to vote now, Mr. Tillis.
Mr. Jacobs.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it seems like you got your head on your shoulders and you're pointed in the right direction. I hope you continue, and I think you need to take some more classes, get in some treatment programs. And out of 13 years, you've not served enough time to be considered, in my opinion, for parole. So my vote today is to deny.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, Ms. Stapleton.
And I concur with Mr. Chillis for the same reasons. You're certainly on the right track. You do have opposition from the DA and from the AG's office and from the sheriff, just to put that in the record. But yeah, keep up the good work so that you can have a sober life for the rest of your life.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and of course you needed a unanimous, and you're going to have unanimous, but it's not like you wanted to hear it. But I'm going to also vote to deny. I don't think that 34 months out of 156 month sentence is, I don't think that's enough time, especially since you were on probation for doing the same thing when you were caught with this. With the scales and the amount of drugs you had, you were ruining a lot of people's lives by selling to them. So therefore, as of today, your parole request has been denied. Time is 10:54 in the morning.
All right then.
All right, my name is Steve Prater. The time is 11:01 in the morning. The date is July the 24th of 2025. We're at the Department of Corrections headquarters. This is the Committee on Parole. To my left is Chuck Tillis. To my right is Carolyn Stapleton. We're talking to Gregory Freeman. Is that correct, Mr. Freeman? Take it off of mute there, and there we go. Looks like a pilot now. All right. Can you hear me? I'd like to be able to hear you. Take it off of mute, please. Okay. Okay, what is your DOC number?
534920.
Okay, that's right. Okay, Franklin Parish Detention Center, we thank you for hosting us. Would the staff introduce yourselves, please, from Franklin? Mr. Freeman, would you tell the staff, would you ask them to introduce themselves, please?
He wants you to introduce yourself.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can indeed.
This is Captain McMurray.
Okay, Captain, thank you for hosting us today. And in just a minute, I'm going to ask you what kind of fella Greg Freeman has been since you've known him and how long you've known him. But right now, let's do the interview with Mr. Freeman. Mr. Freeman, we want to start this by you telling us exactly why you're there, what you were charged with, what you did, how you feel about what you did, what you've done since you've been incarcerated, and why you deserve to be paroled early. Now's your chance that you've been waiting for quite some time to take. So tell us about that.
Yes, sir. Well, I've been down since 2008. I've taken all the classes I can take. I worked the jobs whenever I've been able to get a job. You know, I haven't been in any trouble.
Okay. What did you do?
Sir,
What did you do to get yourself in jail?
I committed a sex offense.
That's pretty open-ended. Give us a little more detail, not explicit detail, but against who and why? Tell us about it.
Well, I don't know why.
Don't know why you did what you did. So what did you did? What did you do?
The charge is molestation of a juvenile.
Okay, so far what we look for is people that are accountable for what they did. You denied, or not denied, but you hadn't told us that to start with, and you're questioning all I'm hearing is what you were charged with. What did you do to get you there?
I mean, I don't understand. I mean,
okay, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Stapleton. Maybe or let me ask the captain. Captain, what kind of fellas has Mr. Freeman been?
he wants to know what. He wants to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
What kind of fella has he been since he's been there?
Sir, I really can't tell you. I've met him just today.
Okay. Well, what kind of fella has he been today?
He's just been sitting here waiting to log on.
Okay. All right. We're going to turn this thing over to Miss Stapleton to ask any questions. Maybe she'll get into it a little bit further. I'm not satisfied yet, but I think Miss Stapleton will get us where we're going.
Okay, so I'm going to pick up where Mr. Prater left off. You were charged with molestation of a juvenile,
yes,
which is a plea bargain. So it was pled down from what did you actually do to this child who was 8 years old? What did you do to her that you accepted a plea bargain?
Molested her.
What would you say, aggravated rape?
No, ma'am.
Well, that's what you were charged with,
Yes, ma'am.
but you wouldn't say that. You'd use the word molested,
Yes, ma'am.
but you raped her.
No, ma'am.
They did an examination on her.
Ma'am.
I'm going to read what the DA had to say, okay? The defendant was originally charged with aggravated rape. He pled to the lesser charge in part due to the victim's young age of 8, thereby receiving a fraction of what he could have received. He should be required to serve every single day of his sentence. What he did is horrific, and it occurred numerous times. She is scarred for life. How old were you at the time you did this to this child? She was 8, and how old were you?
40, 39.
Okay. She was 8 years old. The DA goes on to say is that at this point now, you are only 56 years old and will certainly reoffend.
No, ma'am.
Well, I can tell you this, statistics show you will, because nobody can do that in the beginning unless they're like little children. They can't even go there. It doesn't matter how drunk they are or how high on drugs they are, they can't do that. So I see where you completed the Steve Hoyer program, all 4 phases. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And any other programs that you completed?
No, ma'am. That's all I've been offered. I've asked to get another program, but I haven't been able to.
So what do you think is the long-lasting effect for this child?
I'm sure it will have a mental effect for a long time.
Yeah. Like we've seen here, we've seen we've seen children grow up and be in their 20s and be on here. And I've had them in my office and they cry like a baby because it was their daddy. Somebody had trusted them. And that's the funny thing about this sexual offenders. We teach children stranger danger, but when it comes to this particular crime, it's going to be somebody they love and trust.
Yes, ma'am.
So a stranger, maybe they can think, I'll never see that person again. They've been put away. But somebody they love and trust, how do they love and trust again after something like that? So you have opposition from the DA, which is adamant. You've got the judge's opposition and you've got the attorney general's opposition. I also see where you've got an alcohol problem. So
yes,
when you had numerous DWIs and hit and runs.
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't think that led to your ability to rape your child, did you? The alcohol?
Quite possibly, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I'm going to suggest no, but I know that it's a common excuse. So you do need help with alcoholism too. Did they cover that in Steve Hoyle?
No, ma'am.
Is AA something you would attend where you're at?
Yes, ma'am, I would have to.
Okay, have you been doing it? And is it offered?
No, ma'am.
It's not offered?
I've asked to get in.
All right, do we need to try to move you to another facility so that you can get help for alcoholism?
I believe I might be able to get it. Do y'all still offer substance abuse here, Captain?
Not sure.
What did he say?
He said he wasn't sure if they still offered substance abuse here.
Well, I'll put it in my comments that you do need to be transferred to a facility if necessary where substance abuse is offered. So I don't have any further questions or
Okay,
statements.
Mr. Tillis? I don't have any questions. Let's vote.
Okay, today I vote to deny you based upon the heinous nature of the crime. You do need more classes because you do have a substance abuse problem. And your full-term date is in 2027. So get all the help you can get.
Mr. Tillis?
Mr. Freeman, it seems like you're trying to better yourself, and I hope you do, but at this time, I hope you take some more classes, but my vote's gonna be to deny.
Yes. Okay, likewise, because of the nature of the crime, and I think you need to serve the rest of your sentence. My vote also is to deny. Keep doing what you're doing. Time is 11:12, as of today, at 11:12. Parole has been denied. Thank you. Unmute your phone there, your little iPad or whatever.
There we go. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay. Mr. Edward Smith, is that you I'm looking at?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is your DLC number, Mr. Smith?
331694.
Okay. Well, you're talking to Steve Frater right here. I'm the chairman for today. On my right is Carolyn Stapleton. On my left is Chuck Tillis. We're the Committee on Parole meeting in Baton Rouge. The time is 11:18 in the morning. The date is July the 24th of 2025. We're going to hear from you right now to find out why you're in jail and what you've done since you've been there, and why would you be a good choice for us to parole out of there, give you some time on the street.
I'm here for possession with intent. I'm a good citizen on the street. I got a detail company that I run out there. I keep a job out there. So my mom is getting like older too, but at the same time, I work a lot out there in the streets.
Okay. What are you in jail for exactly? What'd you do?
Possession with intent. I had some drugs on me.
Okay. All right. Tell me what kind of fellas he been since you've known him.
Sir, actually, it's the first time I've met him since walked in here. Me and the other officers just swapped out.
Okay, good. Good. Well, all right, sir. Well, thank you for that. We appreciate you hosting us anyway. Okay, your case has been assigned to me, but before I start asking you any questions, I want to hear from, I believe it's going to be your sister, Teresa Banks. Is that your sister?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and she's with your niece, Whitney Banks, but your sister's the only one, Teresa's the only one that signed up to talk. So Teresa, tell us about Edward.
Well, we grew up together. He's a good fella. He's when he's out, he got in some trouble when in this case right here, but normally, he's a good fella. He why I keep getting muted? It ain't muted. Okay, can you hear me now?
I've heard you before. Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was muted. I'm sorry. Well, he's my brother. When he's out, he's a good guy. He like you say, he has a detail company that he runs. He details cars and stuff when he's out. He helps a lot with our mom. My mom is older and she really needs him because it's really hard on me trying to take care of everybody and her. He's a good guy, I don't know what else to say. Like,
I appreciate it. That's good enough. That's about all you know about it. So that's good. Okay. All right. Well, we'll move on now to the question. And Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a couple of questions here since this case has been assigned to me. How many times have you been locked up for possessing drugs?
Once, I believe.
Once?
Yeah, possession. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been locked up behind possession one time.
Okay. What about in 1993? Weren't you arrested then for weren't you arrested for drugs then?
I don't remember if I was.
And you were.
I would have to look at my parole sheet because I don't remember being arrested in 93 on no drugs.
What were you arrested for in 93? You got a horrible record. I mean, you agree with that, don't you?
Yeah,
record.
I ain't been on parole since like 2002, something like that. I'm not for sure.
Okay, well, you were revoked one time, so you don't have that I can see right here. Okay, you were given a 5-year sentence. How long have you served?
I've been here 21 months.
21 months. So you just getting into your 5 years real good. You took a plea bargain, correct?
Yes, sir.
What did you take a plea bargain to?
5 years of possession with intent.
Of what?
Uh, um, methamphetamine, I think. I think that's what they have down.
Okay. All right. So you were selling drugs, is that correct?
No, I was doing drugs. I just had the drugs on me. That's
How
all
much,
it was.
how much did you have on you?
Maybe like 3 grams, 3 grams or so, something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
3 grams of meth?
Yeah, it was meth.
That's a pretty good bit. Okay. You, like I say, you got a terrible record. You took a plea bargain. You got guns, drugs, violence, all in the past.
Well, the gun charge, it was thrown out because the gun that was in all right, it was a gun left in the vehicle that I had bought, the truck that I was in, and the gun didn't have like a firing pin or something. I never knew that the gun was even in the truck,
Okay.
and they threw that out, and I I just never knew it was in there, so they threw that out.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
I don't have any question.
Okay, I think it's time to vote. I don't think 24 months and a 5-year sentence with a record like you've got, and you got a plea bargain to begin with, and you, like I say, you got a terrible record. I think you need to go ahead and serve some more time on this 5-year sentence. You got, just for the record, you got the judge, the chief of police, the sheriff, the DA, and the attorney general are all opposed. You got a terrible record as far as being on parole and having them revoked.
Can I ask you a question?
No,
May I ask a question?
make it short, because I've already,
Oh, okay. Well,
okay. I voted aye. You got to get all 3 votes to win. So I'm voting to deny your parole.
My vote is to deny.
My vote's to deny, not enough time served, and total law enforcement opposition.
Okay, it's 11:25 in the morning, and as of right now, your parole has been denied.
Okay, thank you.
Damn,
We'll plug this in a minute. You want to go ahead and come sit? Maybe again, I'll.
Okay.
We'll plug this in a minute.
Morning. Good morning. My name is Steve Prater. To my left is Chuck Tillis. To my right is Carolyn Stapleton. The time is 11:30 in the morning. The date is July the 24th of 2025. We're in Baton Rouge at headquarters of the Department of Corrections. We'll continue. Good morning. My name is Steve Prater. To my left is Chuck Tillis. To my right is Carolyn Stapleton. The time is 11:30 in the morning. The date is July the 24th of 2025. We're in Baton Rouge. YouTube is on, y'all. Of the Department of Corrections. Are y'all listening to something else in the room by chance? Do you have a YouTube on or anything? Okay. All right. Okay, can you hear me, Mr. Miguel Incinus?
Yes, sir.
Say your name for me.
Miguel Incinus.
Okay, I kind of got it right. What's your DOC number?
618762.
Okay. And you're at Claiborne Parish Detention Center.
Yes, sir.
Would the staff there that's in the room, would you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Deputy McGahey.
Okay, Deputy, thank you for hosting us. We appreciate that. Mr. Incinus, we're going to give you a chance to tell us why you're in jail, what you did, and what you've learned since you've been in jail. And also, then we're going to call on the deputy to tell us what kind of fellow you are. And then we're going to hear from a friend of yours, and then on Zoom, and then I'll ask you some questions, and we'll finish up the question and vote. So it's that simple. Tell us why you're there.
Because I was involved on with my stepdaughter.
You were in love with her? Is that what you said?
No, I was involved with her. Like
her. Okay. And how old was she?
She was 15.
She wasn't 14 when you started?
I think she might. I can't remember.
Okay.
I think
when y'all started having sex, is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, sir, we did.
Okay. And how old were you?
I was 25.
Okay. And so you were charged, and what were you charged with?
With aggravated instance.
And did you take a plea bargain?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All righty. And what have you learned since you've been there? And have you had any programs to deal with this?
I had a couple of programs, like church programs. I had completed NA, AA, and Cage to Rage.
Okay. All right. Well, what do you think about what you did?
I was really wrong. I had learned that I was really wrong. And through my time there being down, I had learned what empathy means, like, and I accepted, like, I really think that I deserved the jail time that I did because there was something really wrong that I wasn't supposed to do.
Okay. You were given 20 years and 15, you had to serve 15 and 5 years suspended.
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay,
sir.
and that was in 2013. So when is your full-time date? When are you getting out no matter what?
November 2027.
Okay. All right. Is the deputy still there? Is the deputy?
Yes, sir.
Deputy, could you tell us what kind of fellow Mr. McGill has been since he's?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any direct involvement with him since he's been incarcerated?
No, sir, I have not. He's not been here very long. I believe he came in, January. It shows that we got him in January.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. We appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
Okay, I don't have any other questions.
I don't have any questions.
One, you said you took a plea bargain but they did charge you for aggravated incest. So it must have been for the terms of the years that you would serve. What could it have been had you not taken that plea bargain?
I think they would have given me the whole 20 years, but I didn't want them to go through that and put them in the predicament to be in front of everybody. So I accepted that I was wrong. That's why I took the plea bargain.
Okay,
I
so
was
it would have
guilty.
just 20 years. That's all.
All right, let's hear from Miss Moffett. And hear what she's got to say. Is Miss Moffett? There you go. Jaylyn Moffett, would you tell us what you have to say about McGill?
Sure. I actually composed a letter, if that's okay for me to read from.
Okay.
Good afternoon. I am present to respectfully express my support for the release of my friend, Miguel, who has been incarcerated for over a decade now. During this time, he has shown commitment to personal growth and rehabilitation. He has taken the initiative to learn trades, which demonstrates not only his desire to better himself, but to also better his preparation to contribute positively to society. He's an amazing artist. He has matured greatly from my point of view. And I believe he is no longer the same person who made those past mistakes. He has expressed deep remorse and taken full responsibility for his actions. I have confidence if he's given the opportunity, he will be a productive and respectful member of our community. I'm also committed to support him as he transitions back into society. For me personally, it's a lot to support a loved one that's incarcerated. The inflated prices for commissary, paying for the phone calls. I am ready for that to come to an end. I've been supportive of him for 8 years now, and it's a commitment that I've adapted to. Everyone deserves some grace and love. His kids are now having kids. The world has evolved a lot since he's been gone and will keep evolving. I believe it's a good time to fill the gap and take control while he's catching up on his life, family, hopes, and dreams. Miguel and I have discussed ways I can help him transition, including him assisting him with housing, job applications, and transportation. Most importantly, I will be a constant presence, encouraging him, helping him stay focused, making sure he continues to move in the right direction. He has served a long sentence and has done the work to rebuild himself from the inside out. I respectfully ask that you consider giving him the chance to prove that he can live a better life outside of prison. I'm confident that he won't waste the opportunity, and thank you for considering his application for parole.
Okay, thank you for those words. Thank you. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and finish up our questioning. Now, this was your 14-year-old stepdaughter that you impregnated, right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, have you had any contact with her?
No, sir.
Okay, not in all the years you've been locked up?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. That's a good thing. And y'all fell in love with each other. Is that what happened?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
I think there was just a big mistake because she couldn't fall in love with me. She was too young to know what she was doing. So
Good answer. That's a good answer. That's exactly what I was thinking. She was too young to know what she was doing. And,
Yes, sir.
anyway, all right, that's all the questions I have.
I have no questions.
Okay, Mr. Incinus, my vote, I'm the first one to vote. And my vote is to deny your parole. I think you ought to go ahead and serve at least 15 years. You took a plea bargain, agreed to the 15, and then you'd be on 5 years parole after that. And I think you ought to go ahead and serve the rest of your time. My vote is denied. Ms. Stapleton?
Mine is the same, and you have opposition from all law enforcement.
I'm a vote to deny because of law enforcement opposition.
Okay, as of 11:41 this morning, your parole has been denied. Sorry to tell you that. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we'll call to order the session of the Committee on Parole. The time is 11:47 in the morning. The date is still July the 24th. To my right is Carolyn Stapleton. To my left is Chuck Tillis. My name is Steve Prater. We're in Baton Rouge at the headquarters. We're talking to Claiborne Detention Center, and the fellows apply for parole is named Javier Hernandez. Is that you, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, sir.
And what is your DLC number?
This is maybe was.
Do you know it? If what you just give us the last 4 digits of your phone of your social security number.
Okay, my DLC number is
768.
00768
Okay. All right. Well, that's right. You got that question right. Okay. And we're at Claiborne Detention Center. Who is the staff that's in Claiborne? Is it the same? Can't see the same deputy? Okay. I'll assume that it is. Okay. Mr. Hernandez.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I didn't know if you could hear me or not, but you're the same deputy that's been there at the other hearings, and we appreciate you hosting this, and we'll ask you in. Well, let me just ask you, do you know this fellow very well, or is
I've known him since I've been here, and that's going on a year. He's been a trustee. He's very helpful, very polite.
okay?
Does what he can to help out.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Hernandez, the way we conduct these things, we give you first shot at it. You tell us exactly what you did to get you there, what you were charged with, what you pled to, what you did, and what you've taken and done since you've been there to make you a better person. Then Mr. Tillis is going to ask some questions, then we'll follow up with anything we're curious about, and we'll make our vote. So it's your show, Mr. Hernandez. Tell us about yourself.
Well, can you ask me the question again, sir, please?
What were you charged with?
Oh, they say on my when I go to my trial, they say they charge me on a molestation on a juvenile.
Okay. That's what they say they charged you with.
Yes, sir.
Is that what they charged you with?
Yes, I think this is what they charged me with it.
Okay, and what did you do?
Okay. For the charges really charged me on, I didn't really do nothing. I don't know how they say they proved me that, or I don't know how, because I lost my case on a jury trial. So whenever I asked my lawyer, what they charged me on, my lawyer told me that they charged me on, they say that the jury believe they are touching the juvenile and telling, excuse me, and I touching with my finger on her butt. There's what my lawyer told me that I get charged with it.
Okay. We'll get into that a little bit more on your questions here. Mr. Tillis has your case, and I'll ask Mr. Tillis to kind of get to the bottom of it.
How you doing, Mr. Hernandez?
How you doing, sir?
You feel that you didn't do this?
I didn't do this, sir. I didn't do that. Then my lawyer told me, because I asked my lawyer what I get charged with it. My lawyer told me, like, you get charged, the jury believe that you telling the juvenile, excuse me, and put your finger on her butt, telling excuse me, and say it's what I get charged with it.
I see. How long have you been incarcerated?
A little bit over the 3 years.
Have you been taking any classes since you've been there?
I tried to be on a GD, but for my language it's kind of a little bit hard because I never been on a school before. So I decided to to get out of the class. I try first when I get here, try to do making my GD, but I'll be honest with you, it's a little bit hard for me because I can speak a little bit English, but it's hard for me to read and learn in English. So I decided to take to be out of the class, and all I do is working in here. I'm working on trustee for almost since I've been here.
Okay, so when you went to trial, you pled guilty to what?
I don't plead no guilty.
You don't plead guilty?
No, they say that my lawyer told me they find me guilty on the charge I had. The
Okay.
jury, they say the jury say I'm guilty on it, but I never plead guilty on anything.
Okay, I have no more questions.
No questions? Okay, how long have you been in jail?
A little bit, let me see exactly when I came to jail. Already been 3 years and 2 months, but to be 3 years and 3 months.
Okay, and what was your sentence, the length of your sentence?
5 years.
Okay, and do you have an ICE detainer on you?
I just find out that they say I have an ICE detainer. I don't know that I have an ICE detainer.
But you do know they have one now, is that correct?
Yes, this was they tell me right now that.
Okay. All right. That's all.
Well, let me ask you, so were you texting this individual? Were you texting the young lady? Text messages. Were you talking to her on the phone?
From the lady I was here for?
Yeah.
No, sir.
You never text her?
No, sir.
Did anybody see that?
Stop the shooting.
No, I don't have it.
He offered her money. Sex with me.
You don't have it? That's not in your phone? It's not?
Well, I didn't see that. Okay, I think that we're ready to vote. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Mr. Tillis,
My vote is to deny because of law enforcement opposition.
Okay. Ms. Babington?
I agree with Mr. Tillis, law enforcement opposition. You only got about a year and a half left to serve, and you have an ICE detainer.
Okay.
Thank you.
And so you only need, you have to get unanimous in order to get your parole, which you failed to do today, and I concur with denying your parole. The time is 11:55. Your parole has been denied because of the seriousness of the crime, because of the length of the time that you've served compared to what you need to serve the rest of your 5 years. You were found guilty by a jury, and you have an ICE detainer, and so hopefully you'll serve the rest of your time here and be deported. And so that's in the best case scenario. So we appreciate your attitude and all that. Your best luck. And that's it. The end of the hearing.
Okay,
and I believe that's all of our hearings for today. So we are now closing out this session of the Committee on Parole for Baton Rouge.
Okay, thank you, sir.
What did I say?
Let